gains and even human lives has been lost in the process.
I entered this vehicle and a man was trying to drop down from the vehicle.
Vehicles that does not have plate number.
There is a market now, there is no income. Market is so bad, everything had money.
Which it seems nothing can be achieved with what is being paid by government.
The economy is terrible. It's terrible. It's not been easy. Things are so hard. The prices of things skyrocketing on our basis. It's terrible. That's the best I can say about it.
The economy is affecting me and it's affecting the country in a very big ways, which everybody know how things is now. Things are very, very costly. Just like fuel. Before I normally buy fuel like 320, 220, 200 per liter. But now I'm buying 750, which is very good amount of money. And the liter is not even what to talk of as per se. I normally buy rice early morning and eat, but now I can't buy it because of the price. Before you buy a plate of rice, now you owe like 1.5 for hand. If you want to eat a dice money food.
Well, it is crystal clear. The economy is biting really hard. The average prices of goods and services have all skyrocketed. If you compare it vis-a-vis the minimum wage, it seems nothing can be achieved with what is being paid by government. Prices are increasing daily. We can barely afford 3 square meals. Well, on an average, everything is just hard, and we expect government to do better.
Of the truth, it's affecting. We have a fixed salary, but the needs aren't fixed. The needs keep increasing. All we just have to do, which I have decided to do, is to cut down on a lot of unnecessary things to be done. Focus on the needful part-time and take it gently. What we are facing here, it's unfortunate we see that it seems to be the worst across the globe, but it's not. I don't think it is, because the hardship is all over, even beyond our country here. So all you just need to do is just to find a way to survive in the difficult times, which I have told you. What I have decided to do is to cut down on unnecessary things, cut it down drastically. Things that are not needed, no need to stock the house with it until when it's needed, and you go for it just like that. That's it.
Very, very hard. Before, we normally eat like 3 times. Now we are eating 1 time, which is very, very bad. It's not good.
Well, we've been able to cut down on our expenses. If somewhere is not too far, we make it trackable. But above all, we've also been able to be creative by getting more sources of income, right? And see how we can reduce luxury. If it's not necessary, we don't go into it at this point. That's basically how to survive, because we understand from intervention, implementation, and to result, it will take a long time. So even if government at this point begin to roll out those interventions I mentioned earlier, it will take a minimum of 6 months to a year to get those stuff working. Well, we pray that government will put this proposed implementation into action. We hope so. If not, to get to a point where people will take to the street. Well, we're not praying for that anyway. I think the average man would basically point to the removal of subsidy. Like we know, the price of fuel affects virtually everything. That is our only, or I should say, the major export commodity. And so the price basically of fuel affects everything. I think the removal of subsidy at the inception of this current administration basically affected everything.
Well, a lot of factors could lead to that, in my own understanding. But I think that we are more the people are playing more dangerous roles to the constant inflation. What's the role they play? We understand that inflation we cannot control, or we have there are things we can do to control these inflations. Patronizing made in Nigeria products, like they say. And when you go to patronize these products that are made in our country will be very, very expensive. Then how then do we get it right? Because we want to patronize our brothers, they use that opportunity to undo us. And at times where we try to, we have the opportunity to amend, we refuse to amend, and we put the whole blame on the government. The government has its own fault. The people also have their own fault. It's a difficult situation, I must tell you the truth. High cost of fuel may not be the cause, but it's part of the cause. Now, if fuel has been increased, like when Obasanjo was on seat, he will always refer us to how much is a bottle of beer, and you people will sit down to drink over 5 bottles, 6 bottles, and you can't pay for a liter of fuel at this amount. And when they asked him why would they want to talk about the increase in fuel price, he said that the reason why they want to increase it is so that we can sell our product outside the country at a higher rate, which will now benefit the country. But the people were thinking of their own personal gain, but they will want to spend same money, even something higher, on nothing. Imagine somebody going to see to take over 5 bottles of beer. Of what interest is it to him? But doesn't want to do same to the economy of the nation in terms of fuel. So it is part of the problem, but not really the problem. We are more of our problem. We are more of our problem. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's fuel, because fuel is the means of transporting all the goods and everything in the country.
Good. You see, I will always want to refer to our leaders at some point. They may be bad, but when they say the truth, we should acknowledge it and find a way out. That was one thing the Obasanjo said, I quoted, but it's reality. Buhari said one, and he said that our youths are lazy, and we started abusing him, but that's the truth. Before, you come back from school, you come back from work, you want to go back to the farm to plant 1 or 2, to cultivate a few things, thereby reducing the prices of things that you need to buy. Today, you don't see that culture anymore. We no longer go to the farm. So there must be shortage in food production. However, the way to mitigate it, because in this township area it's quite difficult. If we could go to petty farming, go into our gardens, some of these maybe the water leaves, all these small things can no longer be bought in the market, not because they are not available, but everybody now have it at home. You see that the price for such things will reduce. Again, the government must help, because government has its own hands soiled in the rot we are facing. They are finding it difficult to do certain things. Otherwise, government ought to set up a regulatory body to regulate the prices of products in the market based on the cost of production. But government can do that. If government can do that, while we do our bit, certainly things will change, though it may not be immediate.
I think government can do a lot, but more so you would understand that the farmers cannot at this point go to the farm. There is insecurity crisis. You get? There's insecurity crisis. If people must farm, you also assure them of their security. That is the point. If you have a lot of persons going to the farm, getting produce out, and then it's being circulated, definitely prices will go down. But like I said earlier, there is insecurity to deal with, right? There is also transportation of this harvested produce from one region to the other. It still boils down to the price of fuel, right? So on the average, like I said, it basically affects a lot, virtually all the sectors of the economy.
What concerns the buying of garri with fuel costs and dollar rates, I don't know if you're understanding me. Something we produce here. The truth is that, like I said, government need to set up a regulatory body to check these prices based on production costs. Our people, the ordinary people, have taken advantage of these things, of this menace in the land, to undo their failure. Unfortunately, people they are undoing are the ordinary people like them. The government and all these leaders, at any cost, they can afford all of these things. But the ordinary people will remain on the ground crying about it. So government need to do something. The people take advantage a lot. Imagine where somebody will go to the market, buy a product that he is retailing, and because he heard that dollar has increased without going to buy that same product again, will increase his price. Who is he hurting? Has he gone back to the market? Has the new price affected him? At what rate did he buy? We don't look at all of those things. The moment they hear that the dollar rate has increased, they increase their prices. And I heard some people saying on social media, if you go to buy a thing and you see the person selling, making a call, buy wetin you come, no great to make that call, because if you make the call, the price don't increase. It's as bad as that, and it's bad. We are dealing with ourselves and not the government. That's just the truth.
Yes, I want the government to do something about this economics. It's very, very bad. It's affecting us. They should do something meaningful to the masses that vote them into the power. They should do something in order to make sure that things are coming down. The prices of goods are coming down.
I would suggest further on how government's intervention would basically reduce or mitigate the hunger that is currently being experienced in the land. Well, there are basic interventions government can go into. For example, commercial vehicles can be introduced at a very subsidized price. Government has recently released rice that have been seized by custom at a very reduced price. I wonder how long that can be sustained. But also, I think Labour is meeting with the federal government to see how they can review the minimum wage. Well, there are a lot of intervention, but I think this one would basically or immediately mitigate the suffering. If not, I wonder where this country is going to.